Some of you guys probably remember the guy, John Wilson Gaming. He called my voicemail system and left like some serious threats a while back. It was insane. Let me see if I can find, like, I did a video about it a while back. Let me see if I can find a clip from that video just so you get an idea.
Hey, Owen, John Wilson Gaming again.
Again, because he's left like 30 voicemails.
You and I both know you don't have no proof that I harassed you or your daughter.
The guy, it turns out that he's a pedophile, and he called in talking about how I should be careful or something might happen to my sweet, sweet daughter, Kylie. That's what he said, for real. It was weird. And he said that he knew that I lived in New York and a whole bunch of other stuff. He's like openly threatening me, threatening to come for me. I didn't really think that he was actually going to, but you got to take this stuff seriously, right? Well, he was sentenced recently. So that's some good news. He's sentenced to 3 years. Unfortunately, it was only 3 years. Standish man sentenced to 3+ years for attempted transfer of obscene material to a minor. John Wilson engaged in sexually explicit online chats with minors. So basically what this guy was doing was he was talking to kids and pretending to be a kid himself, and then he'd finally come out as like a 36-year-old guy or whatever, and he would send them explicit videos and images and stuff. Like, holy Christ, dude. It is like deeply disturbing stuff. And I haven't said a word about it up to now because I've been talking to and working with the arresting officer. I've been going through the judicial system and everything, and it's over. The guy's in jail. 3+ years. He's been taken out of the public sphere for 3.5 at least years. I think he got, how many years was it? 40 months. Yeah, it was 40 months. So almost 3.5 years. Judge Nancy Torreson sentenced John Wilson, 36, to 40 months in prison to be followed by 3 years of supervised release. So 6 years total, I guess. Wilson pleaded guilty on January 30th, 2023. According to court records, in March 2022, Cumberland County Sheriff's Office received reports that an individual later identified as Wilson had engaged in inappropriate conversations with at least 2 minor children using the internet and social media. In June 2022, Wilson engaged in sexually explicit online chats with members of a watchdog group posing as an underage girl. That was Women Against Predators. I've been in communication with them about it too. During one sexually explicit chat, Wilson sent photographs of his and live streamed a video of himself to someone he believed to be an 11-year-old girl. Homeland Security Investigations and Cumberland County Sheriff's Office investigated the case. I was in communication with the Homeland Security officer that arrested him originally. So anyway, dude got 40 months in jail, and plus another 3 years supervised release. That's fantastic news, right? I got this voicemail the other day.
Hey, this is Sadie. I've been dealing with the Predator. I just saw your video, and his name is John Wilson Gaming.
I've been dealing with the Predator, and his name is John Wilson Gaming. Name is Sadie.
He's been predating me and my BFF for a while.
He's been predating. I guess she didn't know the past tense form of predator. In fact, I don't either. Preying on. He's been preying on me and my BFF. How whacked out is that? That breaks my heart.
He's been predating me and my BFF for a while now, and I'm just saying he needs to get arrested ASAP for doing this crap and be in prison for like 20 years or a life sentence. But yeah, hope you have a good day, and bye-bye.
How old is she? 10? 12? 14? 16? 8? How old? I don't know. It's hard to tell. Because some people have really young sounding voices, but just based on the voice, I would guess 10. This dude took somebody's innocence away. It wasn't just Sadie either. And it wasn't just her BFF. It's a serial case. He's been doing it repeatedly for years. That is some sick man. Some deeply sick. Guy is where he belongs right now. The guy is where he needs to be. He's in federal prison. For the next 6 years, people will be safe from him. Until the guy's 42, people will be safe. And after that, you can bet your bottom dollar that we will be watching him. We'll be keeping an eye when he gets out. Anyway, tell me what you think about that in the comments. That is just some man. I'm sorry, Sadie. I'm sorry you had to deal with that. It's not right. Sorry to leave you on a bad note. I'll tell you what, let me play another video, try to uplift you guys and get you off of the sour note so you don't leave sad. Listen to this message. Unrelated. Oh, a quick aside. My voicemail system, if you call in, 1-800-701-8573. My voicemail message is, leave a message at the sound of the tiny truck backing up. Beep. Anyway, so that's what you're hearing now.
Okay, tiny truck backing up. The name.
Oh, hey, tiny truck backing up.
Is Mike Mal. Hey, Owen. Okay, so like, here's the thing. I find that I agree with you on anything and everything. It's freaky, actually. I'm waiting on an opinion that we can differ on, but it never seems to happen. That is, until today. Money doesn't buy happiness. Oh, no. You have to rent it. You see, if money disappears, the happiness doesn't stick around. It's like the happiness be like, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya. You can only rent happiness, dude. All of us, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That voicemail is actually longer than originally, than originally sent, but I cut some of it out because I figured it was just for me. But I appreciate the message that you sent. Regarding the happiness thing, I disagree on that. That's a good point. Happiness can be rented, but at the end of the day, you put the jet skis away or whatever, and you go home and you're not happy anymore. But money can solve pretty much every problem that you have, right? What problems do rich people have? Honestly, can anybody think of any problems rich people have? Literally any. They need a wife. All they have to do is, go to some fancy parties with some other rich people. Find some other rich friends that they have, and women will be willing to date them at these rich parties. I mean, money will buy you anything. Money will buy you a family. Money will pay your problems away, and you won't have to deal with after that. So I don't know, man. I think that money does buy happiness. I really do. And I think I've said this before. The idea that money doesn't buy happiness is a delusion for the poor, granted by the rich. Money buys happiness. Anyway, I appreciate you calling and disagreeing. Always interesting to get a disagreement. And thank you for the rest of the message and everything else. It's really interesting. Dizzy, love you show. Maybe don't say the victim's name. I understand your position on that, but I didn't. It wasn't the entire victim's name. There are a trillion Sadies in the country. There are a trillion Johns and Jeffs and Bills and whatever. There are a billion different people with these names. Saying first and last name would be a different situation, but I think it's fine if it's just a first name. I've always been okay with using first names. Miracle, apologies for bringing the mood down. My sister Patricia passed away this afternoon after a long battle with cancer. She's 64. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I know that's got to be rough. Yeah, you don't have to be sorry for bringing the mood down. These things happen, and it's rough when it happens. It's just not fun having to deal with death. Certainly not as an atheist, Being an atheist is hard. It's not an easy path, but it's not a path that I chose. It's a conclusion I reached, right? It's not something that I can just pick up or put down anytime I want. This is what it is. Now, it's unfortunate that we have to deal with these types of things, but you know what? Maybe this will help you. Maybe this will contribute in some way or be productive or whatever. Nerical, you're pretty well informed on stuff. You may know this. There may be some out there who don't, though, so I'm going to say it anyway. There's no difference between space and time. They're the same thing. They should collectively be referred to as space-time. And when you see gravity warping something, like the Earth is a mass in space that's warping space around it, gravity is warping the space around it. It's also warping the time around it, right? Time is the fourth dimension. Just to draw it out a little bit more for you. When you're moving north at 50 miles an hour, if you start moving west at half of that speed, moving north 25 miles an hour and west 25 miles an hour, you are moving northwest 50 miles an hour, right? For every any direction that you go, you lose momentum in the other direction and gain it in this one that you're moving in now, basically, is what I'm trying to communicate. Just like I can step backwards or step forwards physically in my living room, like I can walk towards my TV or away from my TV, in the exact same way, time is solidified. It's a real thing that exists, that's here. Now, imagine you have an apple. This is not originally my thought. Somebody else gave it to me. I don't even remember who now, but, you know. Just know that I'm not the creator, but I found it interesting. Imagine an apple is sentient all of a sudden. It can understand what's happening. And you send it through like an MRI scanner, slice by slice. And it has like, it's got 100 slices, right? And you show the apple its skin, like the skin of the apple. And then you show it the first slice, the second slice, the third, fourth, fifth, sixth. And you got 100 slices. You're getting all the way down. You get to 90 slices. And the apple starts freaking out like, oh my God, I'm coming to the end. What's happening? There's no reason to freak out. It's still an apple. You're just like looking at a complete picture now. You've just seen the complete picture. The apple exists in space-time. Always has, always will. Just like I'm in this room right now, but I won't be in this room in a couple of hours. It doesn't mean that my presence in this room when I was here was any less valid or valuable or interesting or real. Just as real. I will always be in this room. It's a complete picture. Our lives are one complete picture. It doesn't begin and end the way that we feel that it does. It's our human brains kind of tricking us into seeing the picture that way. But Patricia's life, people that she touched, and the feelings that she gave you, the laughs that you had, and the fun and all that stuff, it's still all there. It's still a complete picture. It's part of who she is. You know, it's forever. Energy can't be created or destroyed, only changed. Right. Yeah, absolutely. That's true. So for what it's worth, which might be exactly what you paid for it, nothing, Patricia isn't really gone. She's still there. I'm not really gone. 10-year-old me isn't really gone. I'm still there. I'm still back there. I'm still, 15 years ago. I'm still back there. It's all still real and connected, and the only reason we feel it's not is because our brains just perceive things this way instead of another. So I don't know if that helps. Maybe it made it worse. I don't know. I hope that it helped a little at least. She lives on forever in my memories, and for that I'm happy, absolutely. And I know you've I know you're holding those memories for others too. And you know what? I'm holding those memories too. I remember the people that you've talked about too, not just Patricia. You're not the only one holding on to that. My knowledge may be limited. I may not be well informed. I may not have personally known them, but they're there. I'm thinking about them. I remember. So, you know, for what that's worth, if it's worth anything. Like I said, maybe worth exactly what you paid for it. Anyway, thanks for the super chat, Nicole. And good luck dealing with all that. And I'll give the traditional response to that, too, that everybody always says. A long battle with cancer, at least she's at rest and not in pain anymore. That means something, I think.